Good morning. It is Tuesday, the second day of our devotional series on the Shield of Faith. And today I wanted to talk a little bit, dive deeper into what Matt was talking about on Sunday. He had talked about how sometimes we have things that we don't know that are coming. So like this pandemic, or just craziness that comes up in your family life, or maybe it's an illness that comes upon you that you didn't realize was going to happen. And in 2 Corinthians 5:7, it says, "For we live by faith, not by what we see with our eyes." And sometimes we don't see something coming, but we can have faith in preparation for the things that are to come. And the shield of faith, what Matt was talking about on Sunday, is fitted for each of our unique lives, and it isn't bigger or smaller than what we can carry. It's big enough where we can literally stand behind it, and it's like a door where it covers every inch of our entire being. And so when we're talking about standing behind this shield of faith, one example comes to my mind in my personal testimony in my life. I had been going through a time where I was walking through a journey of increasing my health and my fitness, and so I had gone to talk to the personal trainer director at my gym, and he had taken me through some fitness tests and just basically showed me how out of shape I was, and convinced me that I should sign up for a personal trainer. And I am not a spur of the moment decision maker, so for me to actually make a decision in that moment, I feel like God gave a certain type of favor for me to even sign that on that dotted line. And not only did I sign up not just for the basic package, but I signed up for 2 personal training days a week for an entire year. So it was financially stretching, and it was beyond what I would have ever said yes to if I would have actually taken the time to think about that decision. And so I said yes and made that decision, made that commitment, signed on the dotted line, and then I walked out of the gym that day and definitely had buyer's remorse. And so I talked to Jesus about it, and I was just like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, do I cancel? What do I do about this? And in that moment, God just really reassured me that He would cover me. And to me, stepping out in faith usually is a decision that I'm making, like to step out to go pray for a stranger or something like that. Whereas in this moment, it was really just a spur of the moment decision that I really didn't think of as it being a faith step, but in the long run, it really was. It was a faith step to walk into what God had for me in my health and my fitness, and because I took that risk, because I walked into that faith step of faith, and then went back to God when I had insecurities about it, God said, hey, I'm going to cover you. I'm going to cover you in that. And looking back over the year, I actually made it through the year, didn't die, even though I called my personal trainer Dr. Payne. Had so many stories of how God revealed Himself to me during that year to year and a half that I had that personal trainer. And financially, even though I didn't really have the finances to pay for it at the beginning, God actually expanded and increased my finances during that time, where I actually made over double the amount that I was making beforehand. And then after I actually stopped having a personal trainer anymore, my finances actually went back to what they were before. And so it was just during that time, during that season of grace during that season of faith building, that God increased my finances, and actually encouraged me in my faith and strengthened my faith in that way. And so I feel like God is taking us each through steps of faith that He is wanting for us to grow in our faith. And when we grow in our faith, that means our shield of faith is going to be growing too. And God is going to take us day by day in those baby steps of faith of what it means for you specifically to grow in your faith. And that's not going to look like anybody else. It might not look like that person who's out praying for every person that they meet in the grocery store and seeing healings and deliverances and salvations all the time. Your steps of faith are going to look completely different. It might look like baking cookies for someone. It might look like going to that cashier that you always go to at the grocery store and asking her if you can pray for her. It might look like turning off all your lights at night and shutting the curtains and turning on worship music so that you can dance with the Lord. Maybe that's awkward and uncomfortable for you, and you're just wanting to stretch your faith a little bit. And it's in these moments of when we're not walking through trials that God is going to lead us in faith, so that when we are in those trials, we have the faith to step forward and take the risks that might seem crazy, that might seem overwhelming to us outside of that season of grace. But He's going to give us the grace to cover us. He's going to make sure that shield is big enough to cover us in all the places that we face in life, so that we can stay rooted in the truth of God's reality, and keeping that breastplate of righteousness secure to our chest, and keeping those sandals of peace securely on our feet, so that we can stay seated at that table, feasting on His love and His goodness and His kindness. And so I just want to encourage you this week to step out into faith in a way that might seem uncomfortable to you, but it's going to be growing and stretching to you for those times that you don't know that are coming, those times that you can't see, that those trials and tribulations are coming. And as you take those steps of faith, even though you might not be able to see the immediate results of what those steps of faith are doing in your life, it actually takes a measure of faith to actually be able to keep doing those steps of faith, not being able to see what the results are, but just trusting God that those results are there, that He is growing you, and that He is going to encourage you along the way to keep going, and staying rooted in that rest of His love. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and I just pray that God will bless you in this week, and I will see you later.